So that Harry Kane injury really messed up our FPL plans, didn't it? What's up guys, and welcome to FPL Today. I'm the man in the know, JNO, and welcome to my team for Game Week 34 Transfer Thoughts, where we look at the transfer thoughts and the dilemmas that I'm facing going towards Double Game Week 34 in the Fantasy Premier League. So let's get straight into the video. As always, we start off with the fires that I need to put out in my side. And the biggest issue right now is it's wildcard time, and we all know wildcard time comes with so many indecisive moments in our week where we just don't know what side we're going to go for, and I'm sure a lot of you are worrying about which players to go for and which players not to go for. And when the game week starts off, it could either be a great game week where we get scores of over 100, or it could be a disappointing game week where we've loaded our sides with double game week players and then doing nothing in both games. But wildcard time is always an exciting and fearful time. So let's get on to the issues that I am facing. And one is doubles or singles. Now, of course, the temptation is there to load up with double game week players because they have 2 games in a game week and can potentially score big in that game week. However, after that, we have to be stuck with that side as this is a wildcard. This isn't a free hit, so if we use the free hit chip, we get the side back that we already have. If we use the wildcard, we are stuck with that side unless we make the transfers out and take minuses after the double game week. So do I go for double game week players, or do I go for some single game week players who are currently in form and doing the business for me? And then also there's the fact of fixtures versus form. With only a few game weeks left in the season, do we go with the teams that have the really nice fixtures? Do we go for the players that have the really good form? Or do we go for players that still have something to play for because their side's either fighting to avoid that last relegation space or trying to get into the top 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 places in the league? But before we do that, we do look at the fixtures. And in the fixture list, the ease of fixtures has increased for some teams significantly. Southampton currently being top of the table with Wolves, Newcastle and Watford away in the double game week, Bournemouth, West Ham and Huddersfield. That is fantastic set of fixtures for Southampton. And Southampton, of course, currently look like a decent side under their new manager and have some very cheap and budget options to allow you to load up on some heavy hitters in your FPL side. Then we've got Arsenal, who have Watford, Crystal Palace, Wolves, Leicester, Brighton, Hove Albion and Burnley. The issue, of course, with Arsenal is the rotation. Aubameyang and Lacazette, probably the 2 players you want most from that. But are they going to start? Europa League is still a factor. And then as far as the midfield can rotate quite a lot as well. And Arsenal's defence, they don't seem very capable of keeping many clean sheets. Then we've got Tottenham. They do have Man City in double game week 35. But other than that, it's Huddersfield, then the Man City, Brighton, Hove Albion double game week, then West Ham, Bournemouth and Everton. So that is some good fixtures for Tottenham Hotspurs as they try and get into the top 4. Man United also trying to get into the top 4, have West Ham, then have Everton and Man City in the double game week, then they have Chelsea, Huddersfield and Cardiff. So not quite as good as the Tottenham fixtures with that Man City and that Chelsea game, but they do end the season with Huddersfield and Cardiff and have West Ham next. Then you have Man City next with Crystal Palace in Game Week 34. Crystal Palace have actually been playing decently recently. Then they have a hard double game week with Tottenham and Manchester United. But then it's Burnley, Leicester and Brighton Hove Albion in the final 3, which of course you're going to want some City players for in that period because they're going to be probably vying for the Premier League title. Then you have Brighton, who have Bournemouth and Cardiff, 2 home fixtures in double game week 34, the only team with a double game week. I'm probably still going to triple up on this, but I'm just not sure how I'm going to do it yet. Then have Wolves and Tottenham in the next double game week, not as easy, both away games. Then you have Newcastle, Arsenal and Man City. Of course, right at the end there, Arsenal and Man City is not easy by any stretch of imagination, but they're on this because of that double game week 34. And then Wolves with Southampton, then Brighton, Hove Albion and Arsenal, both home games. We know Wolves can perform against the big sides. Then it's Watford and Fulham before a tough away fixture at the end of the season against Liverpool. So looking at my side currently, and this is filmed after Harry Kane's injury in the Champions League, but I haven't changed my side yet, but Harry Kane will be leaving the side. At the moment we have Foster and Gunn in goal. I like this pairing. I think they rotate quite well till the end of the season. I don't want to be using a transfer on my goalkeeper for the rest of the game. Then we have Alexander-Arnold, Laporte and Duffy currently as the back 3. Duffy, of course, with the double game week. Alexander-Arnold, I just want a Liverpool player till the end of the season from defence. Alexander-Arnold is the cheapest way into that defence and has looked on good form recently. And of course I want a Man City player. Man City, Liverpool, 2 of the best defences in the league right now. Laporte looks like the safest way into that City defence. Then On the bench, we have Shah and Valerie, although Shah could quite easily change to Dunk just to see if I can double up on a defence and actually have it work, although I am also tempted by Glenn Murray for Double Gameweek 34, but I have to plan the transfers out after that. But Shah has looked like a player capable of scoring some goals, and Newcastle do seem to be still playing like they have something to play for. Then in midfield, we have Højbjerg on the bench. Højbjerg, of course, playing for Southampton. 4.4 million does seem capable of getting goals and assists, so that is why he is there. Knockout again for the Double Game Week. I know a lot of people going Murray, but Knockout stats do look decent. Then you have Salah and Sterling at the moment, although Salah could quite easily change to Mane, because I feel like even if Salah does have a good end to the season, is he going to outperform Mane, who is in form? Then we've got Sterling, needs some Man City attacking coverage. I know the rotation risk is great there, but if I don't have it and he turns up big or Aguero turns up big, then it's going to hurt me. Deulofeu currently sitting there. That could change to Jota. It could change to someone else, maybe a Son because of Kane's injury. I will be saving a lot of money on transferring out Harry Kane. So Son could come in, especially for that Huddersfield game, and they have Brighton Hove Albion in that Double Game Week. And then we have Jimenez, Vardy and Kane up top. Like I said, Kane most likely going to be transferred out, but Vardy, he's just so in form that I don't feel like I can take him out my side, despite the fact he doesn't have a Double Game Week. And Raul Jimenez does have a Double Game Week, and he's been in the form of his life as well. So that is my current side right now. What are my real dilemmas though? Of course, they are the doubles and singles and the fixtures or form. To illustrate my issue with the doubles and singles, we have compared Jamie Vardy to Alexandre Lacazette. Now, Jamie Vardy, of course, we know has been in great form. It's 55 points from the last 6 games he's played in, 5 returns from 6. 7 goals, 2 assists, 10 bonus points. That is a great return. Lacazette, on the other hand, has returned 5 out of 6 games with 33 points, 3 goals and 3 assists, with only 2 bonus points. However, if we have a look at the underlying stats as well, Alexandre Lacazette actually has more penalty area touches with 40 to 30, but then Jamie Vardy beats Alexandre Lacazette in every other category. 20 attempts to 17, 16 attempts from inside the box to 15, 9 shots on target to 7, 8 big chances to 7, but 7 big chances scored by Jamie Vardy to 2 by Alexandre Lacazette. That's what's in the brackets there. Then chances created, Vardy has created 7 chances to Lacazette's 4. Big chances created 3 to 1 in Vardy's favour, and then expected goal involvement 4.53 to 4.13 in Vardy's favour. Now, of course, Lacazette does have 2 games to play in Double Game Week 35, but Jamie Vardy has 2 good fixtures before Game Week 36, and Jamie Vardy is nailed on, which is a plus for me, whereas Alexandre Lacazette could have his minutes managed and not play much over the 90 minutes in Double Game Week 35. So for me, I can't bring myself to take Jamie Vardy out my side right now. I missed captaining him in Game Week 33, which is a big disappointment for me. Would have had a massive effect on my season. So can I really bring myself to transfer him out and then potentially see Jamie Vardy costing me more in my ranking in the FPL? Also, talking about doubles and singles, we compare Trent Alexander-Arnold at 5.5 million to Kieran Trippier at 6 million. Now, Trippier does have Huddersfield next, but then it is a tough fixture against Man City and then also Brighton Hove Albion. Whereas Alexander-Arnold does have Chelsea next, which is a tough fixture, but then it is Cardiff in Double Game Week 35. And if we look at the actual returns of points and the underlying stats, Arnold has returned 37 points in his last 6 games, whereas Trippier has returned 21. Both have got 3 returns from 6, but all of Trippier's points have come from clean sheets, whereas Arnold has got 4 assists. It's 6 bonus points to 5 in Alexander-Arnold's favour, and then underlying stats is all in Alexander-Arnold's favour, with 9 penalty area touches to 7, 6 attempts on goal to 2, 1 shot from inside the box for both, but 2 shots on target by Alexander-Arnold and 0 on target for Trippier. Both have created 15 chances, but 4 big chances for Trent Alexander-Arnold compared to Trippier's 1. And expected goal involvement is 2.39 for Alexander-Arnold compared to 1.25 for Trippier. Now, there is, of course, the argument that you could transfer in the likes of Alexander-Arnold, Mane, Liverpool players in Game Week 36. But with that Cardiff fixture in Game Week 35, I do feel like Liverpool coverage could be beneficial in a double game week, even though they've only got a single game week when other teams play twice. And then to end this video, we look at fixtures or form, where we have a look at the sides that don't have a double game week and decide if we can actually put these players into our wildcard side for the rest of the season. Because with 5 game weeks left, some teams have 6 games, some teams have 5. Now, some teams, it doesn't matter if they've got 6 games, they could potentially not get you FPL points, whereas some sides could get you plenty of points with only 5. We have a look at the fixtures for the sides that potentially have more difficult fixtures than the teams I've already looked at. We have Burnley, who do have Cardiff, Chelsea, Man City, Everton and Arsenal, but Burnley, of course, are still playing to avoid relegation. If you can rotate and take advantage of the Cardiff game and potentially the Everton game, and who knows, they could get some upset points against the likes of Chelsea, Man City and Arsenal. I'd probably look at Chelsea and Arsenal as the games they could get an upset in. Man City, I'm assuming, wouldn't slip up against Burnley, but there could still be points there. At Burnley, you're currently looking at the likes of Charlie Taylor, Dwight McNeil, Ashley Westwood, and their strikers Barnes and Wood. Of course, they just played Liverpool and managed to score points against Liverpool, so it's definitely possible. Leicester City, again with Newcastle, West Ham, Arsenal, Man City and Chelsea, those last 3 games look really, really difficult. But Newcastle and West Ham next. I fancy Jamie Vardy, Maddison, Tielemans to get points in these. So that's why I'm still considering holding some Leicester players until Game Week 36. We then got Crystal Palace, who do have Man City next. They do have Arsenal. Then it's Everton, Cardiff and Bournemouth. And the way Palace are currently playing, the way Zaha is winning penalties and Milivojevic is putting them away, there's points potentially there for Palace. Chelsea with Liverpool, Burnley, Man United, Watford and Leicester. With the Burnley, Watford and Leicester games, Chelsea are still playing for that top 4 spot. So the likes of Hazard, who currently looks really in form and potentially is trying to get a move to Real Madrid, could still put a performance in for you. And then we've got Everton with Fulham, Man United, Crystal Palace, Burnley and Tottenham. If you take out the Man United and Tottenham fixtures, Burnley, Crystal Palace and Fulham, Everton's defence has been very, very good recently. And you've got the likes of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who does look like a very good player at the moment and is in form. Then you've got Newcastle with Leicester, Southampton, Brighton Hove Albion, Liverpool and Fulham. Apart from that Liverpool game, they're all games Newcastle could get some points in. You've got Rondon, Ayoze Perez and the likes of Fabian Schär in defence. It's possible there's points there that we're just ignoring because they don't have a double game week. Then we've got Watford with Arsenal, but then a very nice double game week of Huddersfield and Southampton. Then it is Wolves, which could be a tough fixture, but then Chelsea and West Ham. And I say Wolves could be a tough fixture. We know Watford can beat Wolves. They've done it in the FA Cup. But West Ham at the end of the season, West Ham pretty much already thinking about the holidays. Huddersfield in the double game week as well. Watford look like a side that could definitely get you some big points despite the fact they have Arsenal, Wolves and Chelsea. So that is all my dilemmas, and the fact of the matter is now KANE is injured. That frees up a lot of money to cover a lot of bases, but I'm pretty sure that I'm still going to have either Mane or Salah and either a Liverpool defender or a plan to get a Liverpool defender in for game week 35. As far as the Brighton game goes, I am leaning more towards wanting to cover defence, midfield and attack, although I have seen people triple up on defence and double up on defence. Don't get me wrong, I think the possibilities of defensive returns are quite big for Brighton in the fixtures they have, because they are 2 very nice fixtures, both at home. But just 1 goal completely wipes out a clean sheet, and who knows, Brighton could go to those games really eager to win and score a lot of goals. I've tried the double up on defence. I have not enjoyed it. I really do not enjoy doubling up on defence. It hasn't paid off for me any time I've done it this season. So I'm leaning towards covering 1 of each. It just depends on how easy I will then find it to transfer out of those players, because I don't think Brighton are necessarily a team I want players still in towards the end of the season. So anyway guys, thank you so much for joining me on this video today. If you have enjoyed it, please consider hitting that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Also hitting that notification bell so you're told when my videos go live. Also, if you haven't already, you can vote for me in the Football Blogging Awards in the Best Fantasy Football Creator category. All the links you need are in the description down below. And check out the other links if you want to support the channel in any way. Also, make sure to leave any comments you have down in the comments down below. I've got very good at replying to as many comments as possible, so let's have a conversation in the comments. I've been JNO, this has been FPL Today, and remember, it's all about the game.